1984 tells public to report political dissidents as terrorists. Shalom, shalom. Before I start this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and the glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. And I want to send double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that rule well. And peace and blessings be multiplied on all you brethren out there teaching this word in all sincerity and truth. To the 144,000, the governing body, the house of David, and the few Aquaf that listen up, subscribing to this truth, and the rest of the men, women, and children the Lord will have mercy on in these last days. Shalom. It's the brother Dama Agabar here from GMS Los Angeles with another lesson, Lord willing, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, to give you warning. All right, and as you can see, New Zealand is going full 1984, which is basically, telling the public to report the citizens that they deem to be, terrorists, which in other words is that, they're starting to put this spirit of, snitching on your so-called fellow man, reporting it to the government, which is going to be, a thing in the near future, which they're already doing it, man. You see them out here canceling people, if you don't want to abide and, go along with the status quo, man, you're going to start making it, very profitable and rewarding for citizens to tell on other citizens, for parents to tell on their children, children to tell on their parents, wives to snitch out their husbands, husbands to snitch out their wives, family members to snitch out one another, neighbors to come up against one another, which is why, you have to move very wisely, especially in these times that we're living in, man. And a lot of us men of the Lord are going to have to be prepared to be, betrayed by your own family members, by family members, by wives, even by disgruntled baby mothers, baby fathers you may have dealt with, people in the world that may know what you do, but you guys had a falling out. And when a lot of these people backs are against the wall and they're facing their own public, execution or their own public scrutiny, they might be inclined to rat you out, So, we're just moving in these times to where, the things that we're out here preaching, the things that we're out here speaking, which is the truth, is going to, be, it's going to be a way for this government to use these stupid citizens out here to round us up, and we're going to have to, really, show whether we truly believe in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man, because these devils are going to grab some of us up. We already know this. This is part of the job description as being prophets and servants of Yahweh Shai. But, this article is just further showing just how these things might occur. Not every situation may happen to where you might be betrayed by parents, but you might just be grabbed up, however the Lord might have you be grabbed up. But we know eventually if we are grabbed up, our testimony in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is going to be one of the main things that they're going to try to find us guilty and try to lock us up and, throw away the key or even put us to death, man. So I'm going to read some of this article. I got a couple of precepts, Lord willing, you can be edified. But even though this article is speaking about New Zealand, we know that this is the ultimate plan of these elites, because whatever they're doing in one country, you better believe it's usually a test run to see how well it runs. But we know eventually this will be a global thing. All right, this would be, and you already have certain laws and legislations already written here in America that pushes this type of shit. So let's read this article, man. It says, friends and family members who question C-19 mandates, including mandatory Vs, should be reported to authorities as potential terrorists, the New Zealand government says. And we know that, this it's going to be more than just speaking out against the jabber dabber or the jump shots, man. It's going to be, a very broad, area of particular things that, you should be reported to the government if you're doing, if you're collecting rainwater, if you're, speaking this truth, if you speak out against the government, if you don't believe in a particular, voting results, and it can go on and on and on, the different type of bullshit that they can lock you up and deem you a terrorist for saying or doing. All right. But they're just using this, this main topic of speaking up against the pandemic. But we know it's going to be an even broader spectrum of, offenses. It says the New Zealand Security Intelligence Service put out a bulletin stating that anyone with dissident political views has been radicalized and asked public to report their friends and family members if they question government narratives. You see, so then now they're starting to incentivize the population to, basically betray their family members, man. Because you have a lot of people out here who are very simple and very stupid and gullible, and they literally believe everything that the government says, man. And if you have a view outside of that, they look at you crazy. They look at you like you're a sea theorist, and you've been listening to Alex Jones, you've been listening to the Men of the Lord, you've been listening to all of these outside of the public narrative view. So therefore, hey, you've been radicalized. You're in a cult. You're this. You're that. So they're going to incentivize your family and different people to betray you, man. Which is why we have to move very, very wisely in these last times, man. That's why it's not wise to be around your family members, Be having certain political conversations, man. And those of us who are in this truth, man, hey, when we're not out there on the highways and the byways or doing these videos, we're supposed to be in Clark Kent status, man. Just a regular citizen, Somebody asks you about your political views, just say, hey, I don't get into that stuff, man. I don't know, or just say that you don't know anything about it. Just be wise as serpents and just keep it moving. We know what we believe in, and we have our time to express our views and to preach this truth and this gospel, Of course, we walk it and we're living it, but it doesn't have to be broadcasted every goddamn conversation or in every engagement that you meet or may come across somebody who asks you about these things, There's nothing wrong with playing ignorant. There's nothing wrong with acting like you don't know anything when you do know things, You don't have to always have to, show that you know something about something, man. Hey, sometimes it's just not wise to do. Just keep it moving, keep it pushing, even dealing with your family members. Now, some of your family members might know that you're in this truth, but I know a lot of my family members, they don't know, that I'm out there on the highways and byways preaching this truth. And when I come across them, they speak about certain things. I just act like I don't know, or I'll be like, oh, so what's that about? Or, oh, yeah, maybe I'll check it out. I just try to be wise as a serpent, man. Because, the time is going to come to where, they might be incentivized to betray you or to lead the feds right to your house or send the military troop to your house or deem you, sell you out so that they can get their own self off the chopping block, man. All right. You just never know. Let me get this preset real fast. It's a lot for the noise in the background, man. But let me get this real fast, man. This is Jeremiah chapter 9, verse 4. It says, take ye heed every one of his neighbor, and trust ye not in any brother. Now, that don't mean that you don't trust the brothers in this truth. We're supposed to trust brothers in this truth, especially the brothers that have been vetted and validated, that are in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. You know who you can trust and who you can't trust, man. And there's certain brothers that haven't been vetted or that haven't been fully, trusted in this truth. You can only deal with them on a certain level until, otherwise. But mainly, dealing with, you just got to be wary of everybody, man. Especially that's outside of this truth. Jake, that are, your family that is not in this world, your co-workers and people that that's not, in this truth. You got to take heed of them, man. You shouldn't be letting them know every single thing that you're doing and telling them your business, telling them, always trying to break down the truth and showing them videos and talking about this theory and that theory. You just deal with them on a particular level. Be wise and just keep it pushing, because that could eventually come back to bite you in the ass. And as we can see through this video, hey, over there in New Zealand, they're incentivizing the public to snitch out people that they know who have different views, So you got to, keep your mouth shut a lot of the times, It says, take ye heed every one of his neighbor, and trust ye not in any brother. For every brother will utterly supplant, and every neighbor will talk with slanders. Yeah, here it is, you all in your neighborhood blabbering your mouth. You're telling your neighbor about this and the New World Order and the Illuminati and, this ain't real. This ain't real. The C shot is this, that, and the third. And they going in the house like, oh, okay. And they go home like, that nigga crazy, man. He's a C theorist. He's being radicalized. We need to watch him, keep an eye on him, And that's how shit usually work, man. And then here it is. You've been blabbering your mouth, telling them how you're doing this, you're doing that. You've been prepping. You've been going to the gun range. You've been preparing. And then, You know, that time might come to where they're going to be incentivized to drop a dime on you. Hey, they're going to call that hotline and be like, I think I found one of these dissidents, one of these extremists. My neighbor, he's always talking about this and telling me about this and the seed theories and this, that, and the third. And he tells me how he's been stocking up ammunition. I think you should go in there and get him. I think he's one of those. And he even was trying to he was trying to radicalize me, you know, or whatever the case might be. So you got to be very careful, man. You know. It says, and they will deceive everyone, his neighbor, and will not speak the truth. They have taught their tongue to speak lies and weary themselves to commit iniquity. You see? It says, thine habitation is in the midst of deceit. Through deceit they refuse to know me, saith the Lord. You see? But the point being is that you have to take heed, every one of your neighbor. And what does it mean to take heed? It means to be wary, to be careful. All right? Because not everybody, not every single Israelite is ready to hear this truth. That even includes a lot of your family members, even the woman you might be dealing with, man. You know, especially if you just start dealing with her. She seemed to be cool people, and she don't know what you're doing as far as going out on the highways and the byways and what you're truly about. It'd be wise for you to, keep your mouth shut, so to speak, man. Just deal with her on a need to know basis, you know. If you're going to the camp on Saturday, she ain't got to know every single move that you're making, you know, until she can seem to be somewhat trusted. You see? Where was I? Let me read that part again. It says, the New Zealand Security Intelligence Service put out a bulletin stating that anyone with dissident political views has been radicalized and asked the public to report their friends and family members if they question government narratives. Yeah, so you out here questioning, you don't trust the jabber dabber, you don't trust this, you don't trust that, you don't trust the state of the emergency shit that Biden is Satan. You out here blabbering out to your neighbors and to your friends and to your families. Hey, eventually that can come back to be a problem, man. But they're ultimately just setting the stage to come up against those that are ultimately, I'm doing this video for those of us who are in the truth. They're basically setting us up to come up against the prophets, which we know they're gonna, eventually we're gonna be off of the streets. But they're trying to build a case so that we can be grabbed up and detained and, dealt with. It says so. It could be the C measures the government took, or it could be other policies that are interpreted as infringing on rights. And it's sometimes what I describe as a hot mess of ideologies and beliefs fueled by conspiracy theories, you see? And you better believe being men of the Lord and prophets and teaching this truth falls under that category, you know? You see what we're saying as far as us being the true people and those other people not being the people. Hey, they're, I'm going to deem that eventually as an ideology that needs to be dealt with. And anybody that believes that way of thinking, has no place in this society, man. So therefore, we need to either change their minds or, hey, take them out of the way. It says the bulletin brings to mind the U.S. Department of Homeland Security document leaked to InfoWars in 2009 that demonized gun owners as extremists, and this is just an example. So America already has certain documents, that's going to deal with this particular subject, man. It's hard. They already have it written in law. They already have it prescribed, man. They're always just looking for the right crisis and the right event so that they could, utilize these different laws and executive orders to come down with great wrath upon the men of the Lord, man. But the point being is that I want to read another precept, man. So we got to take heed of our neighbors. Why? Because ultimately, this is setting the stage for this prophecy to be fulfilled. All right. And this already happened before during the time of, the apostles, during the time of the Roman Empire. But hey, these things are going to happen again. There's nothing new under the sun. We're living in this new revised Roman Empire, and the Lord told us that the servant is not greater than his master. If they persecuted him and they did what they did to him, they're going to do it unto us as well. It says Luke 21:15. It says, for I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all of your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. And here's the point. And ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinsfolk and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death. You see? And how are we going to be betrayed? Because they're going to drop a dime on us to the government because of our ideology, for us believing in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, for us having, faith in the prophecies and in the chariots returning and the destruction and judgment of this kingdom. Are people going to be betrayed, man? Your own family members, that woman you thought you loved so much, even your own mama might drop a dime on you, your father, your uncle. You know, that disgruntled baby mother that you're no longer dealing with. You know, or some of you sisters that are in this truth that might have a husband or a man that didn't believe, and you guys fell out for whatever reason, and you still believe, and he don't. He gonna drop a dime on you if it is gonna benefit him. So hey, we are gonna be betrayed for this truth, for our belief in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So I'm just giving you this warning because hey, these things are gonna happen because it's written. But at the same time, hey, we already have a heads up, so we got to be preparing ourselves, and knowing that this might be particular brothers' lots to go through, man. But at the end of the day, hey, the Lord's going to give us the words to say. He's going to give us the righteous spirit to be in, to overcome this thing, whether it be by being saved or whether it be through death, man. It's a win-win situation for the elect, man. Let me read that again, man. It says, "And ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinsfolk and friends. And some of you shall they cause to be put to death," man. You see? That's what's going to happen. Because remember when Peter was going, when he followed Yahushua, when they grabbed him up and he was following behind him to see where they took him, did not, those other Israelites, when they saw Peter, didn't they drop a dime on him too? Didn't they say, "You were with this man, you were with him," when he denied Yahushua and the cock crew? But hey, them niggas dropped a dime on him too. So how much more us that are in, doing the same thing here in this time? It says, "And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but there shall not a hair of your head perish. In your patience possess ye your souls." You see, because it's going to be a win-win situation. And some of us, they're going to grab up, and we're going to be delivered out of that situation. Remember, the Lord said, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, and you shall be troubled for 10 days. You see? And this could be, we can see how they're setting the stage for these particular things to happen. Let me see. Where was I? Yeah, it says, who's this guy? Count Doncula says, "Remember how I said that all government legislation is created to protect you will eventually be twisted to protecting the government from you." You see? So all of these unrighteous decrees, man, that these devils are passing are going to be all to be in their best interest, to come against those that have different ideologies, those that don't want to get down with this new world order, those who are calling bullshit on all of the lies and the corruption of this government, man. It says the bulletin brings to I read that. It says likewise in 2009, the Missouri Information Analysis Center, MEAC, published a report claiming that people who like libertarian political candidates such as Rand Paul and Bob Barr were also potential domestic terrorists. Well, how much you think men that believe in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, these Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who believe that they're the chosen people, the Israelites of the Bible, what the hell you think they're going to deem us, man? It says the MEAC report was part of an effort by DHS to collect, evaluate, analyze, and disseminate information and intelligence on libertarians and constitutionalists, including Second Amendment advocates. And remember, we saw reports from the ADL. They've been watching us. You saw Vocab and them little Christian apologists doing those little seminars where they're going and explaining all the different Hebrew Israelite sects, groups. Oh, this group, the Sicaris, this, that, and the third, and they believe this. So these devils are already doing the same thing to us, man. They're gathering intelligence on all of us and what we believe and what we're out there teaching, where we meet, where we do all these things at. And eventually, when the time appointed, they're going to try to roll on us, man. And a lot of it is they're going to get our own family members and people that we know to drop a dime on us, man. You see? So we're entering into these times, man. All right, so that's why you brothers got to be very wise, especially in these times. How you moving? The type of things you're saying on these videos. I mean, which at the end of the day, it don't really matter because they're going to try to come up against us anyway. But it's just the fact of you being wise, and learning when to speak and when not to speak, when to, put a lid on it, so to speak, man. Because as we can see, hey, hey, that great persecution is coming. We know they're building that case on us. And hey, be prepared to be betrayed by your own family members, man, if that time comes, right? But it's all good, though. Hey, that's how it's supposed to be. It says, Micah 7:5, it says, "Trust ye not in a friend, put ye not confidence in a guide. Keep the doors of thy mouth from her that lieth in thy bosom." Yeah, a lot of you brothers, be pillow talking and telling your woman everything and this, that, and the third. Or you meet these new women. Yeah, sister, you an Israelite, sister. I'm going to show you, all this bullshit, man. Of course you talk to your woman, but hey, you don't tell her everything, man. She should keep her on a need to know basis. It says, for the son dishonoreth the father, the daughter riseth up against her mother, the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. A man's enemies are the men of his own house, you see? And this is what basically these legislations and this government is trying to do, turn your own family against you. Watch that movie 1984 that showed you that, where the son was, I think the son told on the father and shit, that he was a thought crime, you know? And I got, see something, say something, Like I said, hey, a lot of your own family members are going to be the one that's going to dime you out to Esau, man. So what they say, a man's enemies are the men of his own house. You see, here it is. You got children that are coming up in this truth, but they don't want to, they don't want to get down fully with the truth. They still want to be in the world. They still want to celebrate Christmas. Hey, the day might come to where them little niggas might dime you out, man. Your own daughter might give you up, their wicked ass, mother might dime you out. You just never know, man. It says, therefore, I will look unto Yahweh. I will wait for the God of my salvation. My power will hear me, you see? And that's why our trust has to be fully in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua at the end of the day. Now, of course, we trust brothers. We got love for brothers, But at the end of the day, most importantly, all of our faith has to be in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. It says, rejoice not against me, O mine enemy. When I fall, I shall arise. Yeah, because a lot of our family's going to dime you out thinking that they came up, thinking that they're going to be all right. And that's what he get for being in that coat. That's what he forget believing in that, what is it, Yahweh Shai. Let's see if he's going to save him out of this shit, And that's how, as crazy as it sounds, that's how a lot of our family members think. A lot of and 2/3 of our own people think, man. Let's see if that God in the sky's gonna come and save your ass, nigga. Now you're locked up. Where was your God when you got locked up? Well, they don't know that. Hey, that's part of the persecution. That's part of the part of the job description, man. The Lord said that we were going to be grabbed up and hated for his name's sakes, but to be faithful unto death, and we shall receive a crown of life. Because a lot of these niggas don't understand the scriptures. They don't understand a lot of the elect. And some of us are going to have to go to sleep, for the name and for the testimony in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. But we're going to arise to, but we're going to be brought back up when Yahushua returns. So there really ain't no death for the elect, man. You see? It says, when I fall, I shall arise. When I sit in darkness, Yahweh shall be a light unto me. I will bear the indignation of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua because I have sinned against him. Until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me, he will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is Yahweh thy God? See, my eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the street. Yeah, so you got a lot of these wicked women out here that's going to want to see us get grabbed up, want to see us thrown to a concentration camp. All right, and then they're going to talk shit. Like I said, they're going to be like, well, where's that God at now? Where Yahweh Shai at now? Little do they know he going to plead the cause of the elect, man. And we're going to be delivered, and we're going to be saved, and we're going to rise up, man. And we're going to see your ass get trodden down by the mire of the street. The same government you sold us out to, the Lord's going to allow that same government to come through and put your ass to death, man. All right. So we just got to be, very mindful, especially in these times, man, because, hey, like the scripture says, devil has a short time, so he's going to come down with that great wrath, man. And hey, we got to be prepared to be betrayed by your own family members, man. And if it happened, it shouldn't come as a shock because scripture say so. Prophecy speaks that. So I just wanted to go into this lesson because, I saw this and I was reading it and I was like, hey, such the scripture say that this is going to happen. And now we can kind of see how, it could play out, through these different government legislations and laws being passed and these pamphlets being handed out over there in New Zealand for the public to report political dissidents as terrorists, which, will eventually come to pass. So I just wanted to give brothers a head up. Lord willing, you were edified. Call halal Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua for putting the spirit on me and do this lesson. Until the next one, shalom.